I'll take a moment. That was like meditative. So the project that I'm about to do, called Let Me Take Care of You, really derived from a pretty horrific breakup. One after several that I've gone through, which was, to me, just seemed like a failure after a failure after a failure. Being on set with the models has really been a kind of like a slap in the face of reality. I've never really had a shoot where I have allowed myself to fully explore like actual real situations. Okay, I'm gonna do the model that I was using had such a hard time in the beginning getting to that emotional state of rage, and that is how I feel often is kind of torn between the allowance of anger and rage, and feeling, and you know, because I automatically kind of like put it into this bad thing, you know, I'm this bad thing, I'm this monster, I'm this terrible piece of garbage, and then my maternal side is like crying through that and being soft and reclaiming myself, who I am, what it means to be me, through my art, and really bringing myself back. Up a little bit. The whole reason for, you know, the project being called Let Me Take Care of You, it actually came from a text that my friend Ellen sent me after my breakup, where I, in the relationship, felt like I was really just kind of like, it was like totally one-sided. I felt like I was losing myself in another person, which I tend to do, where, you know, in turn, I completely forget about myself, my needs, my own mental well-being. You haven't been taken care of. Like, what can I do for you? How can I help you? Like, what do I need to do to finally feel myself again, to finally feel whole, to remember who I am? There have been several times within shoots that I have been in complete tears with the model. It was really hard for me not to take it home with me. As I'm taking the photos, that's kind of like my way and the model's way to shed it and like leave it all out on the floor, and then kind of like you see it and it's like, okay, it's there, you know, I can put it on this wall, I can see what we went through to get this fantastic image, you know, but I don't really need to carry it anymore. The shoot that I'm going to be doing tonight is a shoot that is about birth. It's about beginnings. It's about, you know, how that feels within my photography and how I show that. Because you're thinking about birth, and right now it's like this rebirth. This is a womb without a mother. This is my womb. This is my creation. It's like I get to do this again, and I get to do it for me. When you're in the womb, you're like, you're automatically taken care of. Like, you don't have to worry about anything. You don't have to think about anything. You're just so connected. I'll be honest, I'm exhausted. I'm exhausted. The series started with the first shoot called Let Me Take Care of You. This is really to show like the final stage of sense of self. It shows the 3 parts of kind of like the grieving process that you go through.
So the experience of being inside rather than outside is more of a release to me.
The House That Built Me is a shoot based on growing up in a traumatic household. It also has to do a lot with gender roles. You know, what is the gender role that is basically, you know, put on us as a child, and working through that. It's really, it's showing being able to like rebuild yourself in the way that you want to build yourself. My body is kind of telling me it doesn't want to talk about this one. No, I can totally talk about it. No, it's a really tough one because I was actually building this house while I was still talking to my ex. It was actually the first prop that I built even before the first shoot.
So my love language is touch. So being touched and being coddled and being, I mean, babied, honestly, is like what I'm constantly seeking.
Hung up with the model named HAYLEY SYARLES. This one is about how it feels to literally be hung on a line after somebody completely and utterly shatters your heart.
When I am not feeling like I am being held inside and almost tied to my mother again, almost like I'm like in the womb. If I'm not physically being touched, 2, 3, literally like as much as I can be touched, my body will feel
yes. Perfect.
Like electricity is flowing through it. Like it is painful. It hurts.
Okay, keep the phone where it is. Just take your hand and tilt it in. Tilt it in.
Tilt it in.
So like this.
Me.
So take your, literally just flick of the wrist.
I suffer from like horrific chronic pain from not feeling like I'm safe.
Whenever you're ready. Good. Perfect.
Good.
Do the same thing, but hold it higher.
Like I'm in somebody's arms, like nothing can harm me. I don't have to think about anything. It's just like an automatic act of kindness from a partner.
You sure? I thought your facial expression was fantastic.
Yeah, I definitely think.
I am in the process of shooting the birthing, which is why you will see me covered in a bunch of gook and fun, glittery, weird, slimy stuff. I did it at least 3 times, I think. Yeah, I did. Yeah, it was a shoot that I spent the most time on. I did it with several people. I did it with several couples. I experienced it myself because I really wanted to see what it felt like inside. And then I had one couple and then I had another couple. And it was really interesting to see like the dynamic between them. You could really see the love. You're in this like close space and you have no way away from each other.
That's why I feel so much safer why I felt so much safer in there. Because nothing can harm me. I have there's this shell, this bubble, this like, nothing can touch me, you know. Yeah, it's like the 2 opposing things once again, because it's this shell where like nothing can touch me, but at the same time, it's still holding me. And that's, oh man, yeah, that's definitely what like love, that's what I want love to feel like. And it's always like that in the beginning. And then towards the end, it's like I'm this thing that's so lovable and so interesting. And I have all this talent and the arms of safety are so willing to be wrapped around me. And then as soon as I come out of that shell and I come up for air is when they leave.
There have been several moments where I've wanted to just give up, and it got too heavy. I've gone into states of really horrific depression myself, going back into those places of self-hatred and I'm not good enough, and my God, all of these people are feeling so much horrible, things, terrible traumas, and there's so much sadness in the world, there's so much heaviness in the world. Like, all of us are carrying so much all the time, and most people like have no idea. And there is such this wall that I've had that I would let down in every shoot, allowing myself to just let it go. And it was the same with every model that I've been shooting, like having that idea at the very beginning of, hey, we're here to collectively work on this healing process, to release the trauma that you are experiencing together. We can talk about it, we can emote, we can safely express all that's happening. And at the end of the shoot, I just want you to let go with me. That's art, that's life, that's the reality of trauma, that's the reality of the situation. It never fully goes away. It's always there. You just learn how to kind of cope with it better.
Yeah, I think the queer community the most, especially the ones that I have met and have been close to, are so equally searching for validation, searching for connection.
So body count was next, and this was to show how usually the queer community is seen as like really promiscuous. It's also to represent the AIDS crisis. Basically just how we're viewed as these dirty, unwanted people who also are very rejected within the community and seen as just nasty. Each person was kind of coming together and allowing that love and accepting each other and who they are. There was actually a moment in the shoot that was really cool where I didn't have my SIM card at first in the camera, and I had shot all this great work, and I just got really defeated, and I was like, oh my God, I cannot believe that I didn't put the freaking SIM card inside. And everybody was just like covered in corn syrup and just sticky, and all of the paper that they were sitting on as they all got up after I was like, all right, cut, like it's done, just ripped. It was just completely destroyed, and I was just so upset. And as I had the models just like, crumple the paper together to like throw it out to try to shoot again, one of the models named Emily stopped, and she just looked down, and she was just like, oh my God, it looks like a heart. So the next shoot that I did is called Love is Blind. The shoot is modeled by Amanda Davies. Basically, it's to depict that sometimes in relationships we have rose-colored glasses. It's a way to say that we tend to put our blinders on and go full force into something that we think is one way when it's really the other.
Searching for love, searching for acceptance. It's not something that ever comes naturally to any of us. We have fought for that for so long. I think it comes with the territory. Even if we are accepted, as queer by loved ones and family, you never know what you're going to step into that doesn't love you in that way. It's so uncertainty, living with uncertainty, like it's being queer is just a constant state of uncertainty.
So the next shoot is Bedbound. This shoot is about everything that happens in a bed. We're birthed in a bed, we die in a bed. We have the most difficult conversations in a relationship, also the most intimate, beautiful moments that we have. Each shot really shows how it would feel like to finally give ourselves that automatic love that we are seeking
all the time would be profound. Whether or not we receive it, you know, whether or not we are fighting, we still know that, you know, we can love ourselves deeply. It is, we're born into this world as who we are now, and not a single person is like us. That journey of falling in love with yourself is a hard and grueling one, but when you do it and when you fully like learn to accept that love within yourself, it's, you know, I'm getting there now, and it's the most beautiful feeling, because you don't have to care about anyone. Once you release and once you let go of expectation, is where like true love lies.